Well, Chris Fletcher has beat us to the punch. We still do not have out our bug boy, but he has charged ahead with ArcadeBoy. And we're going to talk about that a little bit tonight, even though our feelings are a little hurt that he beat us to market on a kind of a clever idea, maybe more clever than ours, but regardless, an interesting thing. So, don't know if you folks heard about it. No, Mike, I know you sent me the link on it, but this was all news to me. The ArcadeBoy is so I don't know what a size down is from a countercade, but a mini countercade, I guess. It's bigger than a Game Boy, but it's a Game Boy on a bigger screen, and with the joysticks and control pads on it. And looks pretty sweet. Um, what were your thoughts when you first saw the ArcadeBoy?
I love the look of it. So we actually a while back we looked at a project that somebody had done and posted a video of where they converted one of the flip open Game Boy Advances into like a little mini arcade. And that was pretty cool, but way beyond once you get into soldering and stuff like that, I'm done. There's no that's not for me. We've talked about the Bog Boy, of course. But this seems like what that project was on more fleshed out for anybody to do it and on a much larger scale. This is like a bar top. This looks from the pictures, and I don't remember the dimensions offhand, but looks more or less like the Alpha bar top.
It appears to be pretty close to that. I think maybe it's just a hair smaller, but it's hard to tell for sure. We'll get the dimensions and include that in the video description for you folks on there. But my favorite part about this is its NSR, no soldering required solution. You do have to provide your own Game Boy for it. It's a Kickstarter too. So that's going on, and we'll talk a little bit about the levels in a second. But it's basically came up with a slick looking 3D printed case that houses all the components you'd want to house. You provide the Game Boy, and the way he's engineered the boards, you just have to, while no soldering's required, you do have to open up your Game Boy and remove the screen, the connector to the screen, and then take that bus and connect it into the necessary electronics to then get it fed up into the LCD screen to play it. And it plays in beautiful uh, black and white Game Boy, I guess you can say, on that. I was a little disappointed because I don't have a Game Boy. I have a Game Boy Color, and this will not work with that. So this is exclusively for a Game Boy. And I think you have both. Is that correct? Or do you just have
I
colors?
just have a Game Boy Color.
Yeah, so you're a Game Boy Color only as well. So is that it? But it is a Kickstarter. We'll include a link to that, obviously, as well. Our One of our favorite channels, MadLittlePixel, is talking about it. Looks pretty interesting. He, you know, provided, let the buyer beware. And indicates that he's had good success with Kickstarters and not good success with Kickstarters. He hasn't crossed paths with the Bog Boy Kickstarter yet, so just wait. I'm sure he'll be have a lot to say about that. But it looks pretty interesting. Although the price points for rewards on this one are a little on the steep side. I mean, there is a $10 if you just want to support this really clever, creative idea that's being done. You can go in for $10 and you'll get your name listed on a donors page for that. But that's really the reward. And then it just starts this kind of progressive, you know, build your own, which you got to go mine the silicone. There's a very austere initial beginning one where you're doing a lot of it, and kind of each step up, they're doing a little bit more assembly. It's getting a little closer. It's still pretty much DIY versus just beyond more DIY than just plugging your Game Boy into it. That's a given no matter what you get. But I think you get up to like about like 499. Before that, you could get kind of like one of their early prototype versions that would be basically ready to go. And then if you wanted one absolutely 100% ready to go, or I guess put your order in for it, it's more like $5.99. So we're talking, for a non-aluminum case mini arcade, it's a it's a pretty high price point. But I think it's a kind of a pretty interesting idea to be able to kind of get to that level of form factor on a Game Boy. It looks fantastic in terms of gameplay. Is this something I know floor space is always a bit of a concern, bigger for me than you, but floor space management is a concern. What are your thoughts? Is this something that can make it way into the mic arcade or not?
So I was definitely interested in. I'm a big Game Boy fan, and if this worked with an EverDrive cartridge, then I would only have to pop one cartridge in there and have access to backup ROMs of all of the physical cartridges that I own, all on one cartridge. So that would be cool. I again, just because of my extremely limited ability, would be going with this fully assembled one. And that price point is just too much, regardless of the size of the unit. $600 is just way beyond for something like this. Especially because I feel like you could make something like this yourself. I mean, maybe not exactly this. And I do think the form factor of this is great. It reminds me of like a store display for a Game Boy that you would see in like a Toys R Us, which is really cool. But you could 3D print or order a 3D print off of a site like PCBWay and have a really high-end 3D print done by them of your own case for like a Raspberry Pi and play games off of that. So for a tiny fraction of that cost. So as cool as I think this is, for me, this price point pushes me way out of reach.
Yeah, so this isn't really a skip it, buy it. It's I guess it's a kick it, don't kick it. So I guess I'm kind of tempted to be the $10 kick it, just to provide support because I think it's really cool what he's doing. It's quality work, and to your point, the form factor, it looks great in that beautiful Nintendo gray, the right pops of red, just looks fantastic, and the display looks great. And so all that's really good. So I think to support retro gaming out there, folks, you might want to consider visiting the Kickstarter and at least get your name on a list. But in terms of this making its way into my house, it's a little bit salty for me as well. So, and I'm not as big a Game Boy guy as I am more Amiga and you know Jaguar maybe Virtual Boy maybe, but probably not this price point for a Game Boy thing. But that's just me. Um, I guess folks, let us know in the comments if you're interested in something like this, and does that price height for it? I need to stress again, a non-aluminum case. if if that is something you're interested in, and let us know. Give the video a like, subscribe to the Bog Panda YouTube channel. We greatly appreciate that. And maybe while you're there, listen to a few hard no's. It's the world's shortest podcast, published daily. Um, any closing thoughts on ArcadeBoy?
No, I mean, unfortunately, it's a skip it for me. As cool as I think it is, and as impressive as I think the work that's been put into this is, for me, this is something that's just too high end.
Yeah, I think so. But again, props to the work. It's just fantastic. And so if your passion's there, if you're a big Nintendo Game Boy fan, this is at least worth a look because it's a quality product. So thanks for watching, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Bog Panda.